On the afternoon of February 9, 2024, a high-speed pursuit unfolded between the Florida Highway Patrol, FHP, and a motorcyclist on the highway in Charlotte County, Florida. The incident began when the motorcycle rider failed to comply with a traffic stop, prompting troopers to initiate an emergency pursuit. Instead of complying, Diaz hit the gas, turning the highway into a deadly racetrack. He recklessly weaved through trucks, buses, and innocent civilians, pushing his speed to the limit. The dashcam captured every heart-pounding moment, as the line between life and death was measured in split seconds. The suspect is now in custody and will face multiple charges, including failure to comply with a police order, reckless driving, excessive speeding, and endangering other vehicles on the highway. In a phone call to his father, the former highway hero was now just a trembling son, confessing with regret.
Hello?
Dad,
What's up?
I fucked up.
What's the matter?
I was speeding on the highway just because I was trying to get home, and I didn't see the state trooper till last second, and then he tried pulling me over, and I kept going, and then I crashed.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Take it to the hospital, get cleared out.
I know,
You
Dad.
okay?
I don't care, Dad. I fucked up.
Why'd you keep going?
I got scared.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He was
Are you in jail?
I'm going to.
On June 9, 2024, near the border between Oklahoma and Arkansas, police spotted a suspect riding a Suzuki GSX R600 motorcycle. The suspect suddenly fled when an Oklahoma state trooper signaled him to pull over for a traffic stop. The situation quickly escalated into a high-speed pursuit through crowded city streets, with the suspect repeatedly running red lights and endangering the public. The chase lasted over 15 minutes, reaching speeds of up to 190 km/h, approximately 118 mi.
We're back from Marshall from Roseville to Ridgeway. Alright, turn in right on Churchill. Right on Churchill. Left on Division. Crossing North 6, north and north. West on North 7, turns north low, headed back towards Midland.
Okay, back on this.
That's north end. Alright, behind the jail. Aquamel. Still behind the jail. Going in circles in a parking lot. Headed back towards Wheeler.
This was clearly a dangerous high-speed pursuit, with the suspect reaching speeds between 100 and 120 miles per hour. He blatantly ignored all police commands and defied every barrier in his path, repeatedly running red lights and turning the chase into a serious threat to public safety.
Hey, 3, we're going to try to slow him down, get him boxed in. You good with that? Yes, sir. Hey, go secondary, go secondary. It's about 80 there in Wheeler and North Downfield. Don't get up there, let's try to keep him boxed in. Thank you, Rick. Let it out in the corner. I'll take it back up. Walking in, I'll come behind you.
After a prolonged attempt to escape, the suspect suddenly lost control and slid off onto a grassy roadside. Before he could react, a patrol vehicle charged forward and blocked the front of the motorcycle with a hard impact, trapping him in place. Just seconds later, another police cruiser closed in from behind, ramming into the suspect and throwing him off the motorcycle. The escape came to an abrupt end as officers surrounded and restrained the suspect. Authorities later confirmed that he is a Spanish national and does not speak English. Due to his reckless riding, he now faces multiple serious charges: failure to comply with a traffic stop, excessive speeding, running red lights, not wearing a helmet, and suspected unlawful possession of the motorcycle.
When I got it, I think it's on my hand. Yeah, I'm good. You got it. It's all over your shirt. It's.
On the afternoon of April 27, 2025 in Texarkana, Arkansas State Police Officer Gannon Tiller was patrolling North State Line Avenue when he heard the roar of a motorcycle engine. Just minutes later, he spotted a blue and white 2008 Suzuki GSX 600, uninsured and lacking eye protection, stopped at a red light near Realtor Avenue. When the light turned to green, the rider, later identified as Caleb Reinhardt, immediately accelerated, ignoring the officer's command to stop. This reckless act marked the beginning of a high-speed pursuit through multiple city streets, with the level of danger escalating rapidly.
25 over, check in. St. Michael Drive. 1037.
Reinhardt sped off at an astonishing pace, reaching speeds between 110 and 120 miles per hour as he tore through city streets and highways. He not only ran red lights and weaved recklessly through traffic, but also executed a series of sharp turns and sudden accelerations, making the pursuit extremely dangerous. His confident handling of the motorcycle suggested a deep familiarity with every curve and stretch of road, almost as if he had planned this getaway in advance.
Hope, are you able to give updates to Texas? I'm on the phone with him right now.
Pull over.
Going off-road, near Bent Road.
About to beat your ass, boy! Get back here now!
After the high-speed and dangerous pursuit, Reinhardt was apprehended and taken to a hospital for a medical evaluation. There, he casually stated that the reason he fled was simply for fun, and admitted to drinking Four Loko earlier in the day. He also revealed that he was currently out on criminal parole. His reckless actions have now led to a slew of serious charges, including fleeing, driving under the influence, driving without insurance, driving with a suspended license, reckless driving, and failing to yield to law enforcement.
You got me saying out there, you motherfucker race.
On the afternoon of June 2nd, 2023, police observed a man riding a red Victory motorcycle without a helmet. He stopped briefly in front of the patrol car, appearing as if he was going to comply with the traffic stop. However, just seconds later, the suspect suddenly accelerated and fled, forcing officers to immediately initiate a pursuit, a reckless and misguided decision on his part.
Gotcha!
The suspect operated the motorcycle at speeds reaching up to 120 miles per hour, weaving through traffic, frequently crossing into oncoming lanes, and blatantly disregarding all safety, putting both himself and the public in serious danger.
Turn left on, or correction right on. 232 here. Coming down on the speeds. I'm trying to get you across here to make it more south. 232 out of Scott. Sorry, I can't.
After a tense stretch of pursuit, the suspect suddenly slowed down and began displaying erratic behavior, leading officers to believe he might surrender. But as expected, he accelerated once again, forcing police to continue the chase in an effort to bring the situation to a safe conclusion. Eventually, at a turning point, the suspect abruptly brought the motorcycle to a stop, appearing to contemplate surrender. Officers quickly closed in and issued clear warnings that lethal force would be used if he failed to comply. Despite a brief attempt to resist, the suspect was swiftly taken into custody with no chance of escape. He was arrested on the spot and now faces multiple charges, including operating an uninsured vehicle, fleeing from law enforcement, reckless driving, and driving while impaired.
Why are you running, Brett? You weren't running? Okay. I'm gonna bury you in the jail, man, under the jail. All right, come on. Oh, come on. Get up. Stand up. I don't care. I don't care about your shoes.
They say if you plan to run, pray it doesn't happen in Arkansas. Because here, police don't just pursue, they hunt, turning every road into a battlefield. On the night of September 29, 2023, while on patrol, Officer Matthew Walker spotted a motorcyclist displaying signs of a traffic violation. The moment he was detected, the suspect immediately accelerated in an attempt to flee. Recognizing the growing danger, officers quickly escalated the pursuit to maximum tactical response.
Turning back, southbound, stay on J. George, protocol straight up,
The situation grew increasingly tense as traffic on the highway became heavily congested, making it nearly impossible for patrol units to keep up. The suspect, however, had the advantage, weaving effortlessly through vehicles on his motorcycle. But it soon became apparent that he was struggling to maintain control of the bike, frequently using his feet to stay balanced while cornering. The heavy weight of the motorcycle seemed to be affecting his stability, and that became the opening officers needed to close in and bring him down. From the perspective of the 2nd Patrol Unit, it was clear the suspect had no regard for law enforcement's ability to keep up. Right on the John Paul Hammerschmidt Highway, he suddenly abandoned his motorcycle and fled into the nearby wooded area, forcing officers to pursue him deep into the forested terrain. As of now, there has been no official update on the outcome of the incident. If you have any additional information related to this case, feel free to share it in the comments below. In the early hours of March 7, 2023, near the Crystal Hill area of North Little Rock, Arkansas, a high-speed pursuit was captured on a police dashcam. The suspect's motorcycle suddenly accelerated in an attempt to flee after being spotted violating traffic laws on Interstate 430.
survey, we have 1063 for adequate change.
Vincent Riley recklessly pushed his vehicle to terrifying speeds, at times exceeding 180 km to 113 mph. He weaved wildly between lanes, even maneuvering through a construction site filled with obstacles, showing complete disregard for his own life and the safety of those around him. The chase continued as he exited the highway and sped into dark, remote roads. Just minutes later, the suspect was found lying at the edge of the forest, exhausted and with minor injuries. He offered no resistance, complied with commands, and was immediately handcuffed on the spot. Vincent Riley was apprehended right at the scene. He now faces a series of serious charges including resisting law enforcement, reckless driving endangering public safety, possession of drugs with intent to distribute, and numerous other traffic violations. His nighttime escape ended behind bars. In Georgia, the law isn't just enforced, it's pursued to the very end. With a state police force known for multi-directional containment tactics and high-speed pursuit capabilities, every attempt to flee becomes a dangerous gamble. On the night of May 22, 2020, near the Clayton County line, a rider on a Suzuki GSX-R 1000 recklessly pushed beyond the speed limit, triggering a high-stakes pursuit across major roadways, where every turn became the thin line between freedom and a jail cell. Throughout the pursuit, the suspect rode at dangerously high speeds, weaving through traffic, running red lights, driving against the flow, and crossing into oncoming lanes. showing complete disregard for public safety and his own life. The chase spanned multiple jurisdictions, including Tara, Panhandle, Woolsey, and State Route 92, forcing law enforcement to coordinate a multi-directional containment effort.
North Bridge Road. Stay ahead and stop. That's the Hampton Road. That's the Hampton Road.
As Officer Williams' patrol car approached Chantilly Road, it unfortunately veered off course and slammed into a fire hydrant, forcing him to end the pursuit. However, backup units quickly arrived at the scene to continue tracking down the suspect. In the end, the suspect, Devin Seven Pate, born in 1997, was apprehended by law enforcement at a residence in Henry County after abandoning his motorcycle and attempting to flee on foot. A records check revealed that he did not possess a valid driver's license and was operating an unregistered vehicle. With serious violations including failure to comply with police orders, excessive speeding, running red lights, driving against traffic, and fleeing the scene, Pate now faces multiple felony charges in the state of Georgia. There are nights in Arkansas when just one twist of the throttle is enough to shift the entire police force from routine patrol into full pursuit mode. On the evening of February 6, 2025, in the city of Little Rock, police spotted a young man riding a high-speed motorcycle of unclear origin along Interstate 630. Notably, the rider had no valid license, and the motorcycle was unregistered. But this was only the beginning of a high-risk pursuit, one whose outcome was sealed the moment he chose to accelerate.
That's 1055 right up 10, 1037.
Knowing he couldn't escape, Mitchell abandoned the vehicle and tried to run on foot but was quickly pursued. Sergeant McDonald deployed a taser, but the suspect continued to resist, forcing officers to use physical force to bring him under control. Mitchell was transported to UAMS for a medical evaluation before being booked into custody at Troop A. He now faces multiple charges, including excessive speeding, fleeing from police, driving without a valid license, and possession of illegal substances. In the end, one reckless twist of the throttle in the dark cost Mitchell both his freedom. On the afternoon of April 15, 2025, in the Spring Lake East End area of Saline County, an Arkansas State Police trooper observed motorcycle AR-367 committing a traffic violation. When signaled to stop, the suspect suddenly accelerated, forcing officers to initiate a pursuit through a residential area, setting off a series of high-speed maneuvers across neighborhood streets and internal roads.
Southbound, passing Lawrence. Speed's 92. Light traffic. It's all yielding.
Single 10 Lawrence. Airport direct. Timber Airport.
Southbound, passing Pear Orchard. Speed's 80. Medium traffic. It's all yielding. Alright, big crash. Major crash here at the fire department.
The suspect was identified as Caleb Hopkins, a local resident. Police suspect he may be connected to a previous investigation in Saline County. Although he was not carrying any weapons, his actions, operating a motorcycle at dangerously high speeds, running red lights, and weaving recklessly through a residential area, have led to multiple charges: failure to comply with a lawful stop, excessive speeding, reckless driving in a residential zone, and endangering the public. This reckless attempt to flee was brought to a swift end within minutes, thanks to the decisive action and tight coordination of Arkansas State Police units. Police don't always chase high-speed racers on superbikes. Sometimes all it takes is an ordinary motorcycle and a few reckless actions to trigger a full-scale pursuit in the dead of night. On the evening of September 19, 2023 in Lenoke, Arkansas, the state police received a request for assistance in pursuing a motorcyclist driving at dangerously high speeds. What began as a simple lane violation quickly escalated when the suspect suddenly accelerated, attempting to evade officers by fleeing onto federal highway routes.
Back off. Just forbidden at 1063 Brad 11.
Black sport bike, northbound on Kerr Road, coming up to I-40, stand by for direction. White male, black spike, blue jeans, black jacket.
Copy, approaching I-40. White male, blue jeans, black jacket, all black bike. Going eastbound I-40.
As the suspect approached the intersection with Interstate 40, the situation became increasingly tense. Heavy traffic on the highway made it nearly impossible for the patrol vehicle to keep up. Taking advantage of the congestion, the suspect skillfully weaved through vehicles and quickly disappeared from the officer's line of sight.
He's speeding up to about 100. Light traffic, he's passing on the shoulder.
Speeds 100, light traffic, passing on the shoulder. Copy, passing on right shoulder behind the 18 minutes.
After several minutes of searching the area, officers discovered that the motorcycle had collided with another vehicle. The rider was identified as Homer White, a name well known to the local criminal record system. Homer White was taken into custody that same night and now faces multiple charges, including improper lane usage on the highway, fleeing from law enforcement, and endangering other motorists. Driving without a license, operating a motorcycle at dangerously high speeds, and choosing to run in the